Hey you guys, Lane here with Soul Fit Solutions. I hope I have a Soul Fit solution for you today. If anything, hopefully I'll bring you some peaceful, good, healing vibes. So today I'm going to make my video on some supplements, natural supplements, to help with maybe some discomfort or ailments you deal with, or yeah, some nice health benefits, things like that. So I have a few things here for you today. Actually, I'm surrounded by a little circle of things, but I've been thinking about this for a while. So instead of waiting until I have this longer list and this, whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and make something for you today. I know that this will be useful to someone. So, and thank you for being here if you're here with me. It's been a while, and I hope everybody's doing good and thinking about you all the time. So I am going to start off today with, let's say, the ginger, okay? So ginger, you can use fresh ginger, which I never really use that very much. You can do for cooking. I know people shred fresh ginger on their salads and stuff for GI problems or digestive problems, nausea. This can be something that it has tremendous amount of health benefits, and most of the things that I'm going to show you right now do. So you can look up the benefits if you want to look into a little more thorough description on these things, but my video would be like yay long, and yeah, we'd be talking about one thing just for that. But if you have any questions about something, or if there's something, you feel free to message me or ask me a question or something. But one of my favorite things anyway is fresh ginger, is crystallized ginger. Okay, see, I love it. It's a little spicy, but I'll tell you, if you suffer from, I use this for nausea. I had some digestive problems too. I have a lot of problems I had after my head injury. The neurological system just really messed up my whole, your whole nervous central station is in your stomach. So, yeah, I still deal with some digestive problems from that, but crystallized ginger, okay? I love this brand particularly. Yeah, it's good. It's crystallized and it's got some sugar on the top, but you can find this at like your natural health food stores. Some places like have fresh thyme markets, or yeah, depending on where you live, you have a fresh whole food market. So, but this one is Frontier Co-op, and it's the crystallized ginger slices. And I find this one at my local health food store, natural health food supply store. And if you wanted this one particularly, it's really good. You can go to www.frontiercoop.com. So that's FRONTIERCOOP.com. So that's for the Frontier Co-op crystallized ginger slices. But if you can't find these, like online or something, you can go into the store and you can typically find some crystallized ginger, but sometimes it'll just be stringer, or, you have to find one that you prefer and you like more. So for nausea, ginger literally you can like eat one of those and my nausea would be gone. And sometimes if it was severe, I'd have to eat it several times a day, but it works. If that's too spicy, even like these for kids, they are gingers that I rip off who makes them. Anyway, you'll recognize the bag somewhere if you want to get gingers online, or but they are really awesome. And you can carry them with you, and it's like a hard candy. Of course, you don't want to eat a ton of them because you don't want all that sugar, but either way, it'll help with your nausea. So that's just something that I keep with me like all the time. So yeah, so we have the ginger, and these are just sitting there. So I'm going to go to these lozenges that I always keep. Sorry, there's a glare. They have manuka honey in them, which is fantastic. and they're a little more expensive, but I keep them in my freezer, and I keep them all the time as a backup, along with some of my wellness teas that I keep. For instance, traditional medicines. Now, I don't know if this is showing up backwards or not. Sometimes I think it's going to, and sometimes it doesn't. But either way, traditional medicines. I'm sure you've seen these somewhere in the store. But I don't have it with me today, but I always keep the Gypsy Cold Care. It's phenomenal. Once you start noticing the onset of like a cold or anything coming on, I start to drink, like 3 of these a day. And most of these teas, you want to, boil water. And when you steep tea, you pour the water over the tea bag, and then you cover your cup with a lid. That's steeping it. That keeps all the good stuff inside the tea instead of it evaporating away. So Gypsy Cold Care is one I always keep, like at all times. I never run out of it. It's always in my cabinet. I can't tell you how many people that I've given bags of it to or said, I have this here and I'll bring some to you. It's amazing stuff, but it really, truly, truly can help kick out a cold or really help it break it down, and so it lasts its length time. It'll really help with that. But they have so many. They have ones for the respiratory, throat coat. They have all different kinds. But this is just one, and they have so many different kinds of teas. And then these lozenges. Manuka honey is super awesome for you. It's got so many benefits. Honey in general, but the Manuka honey as well. That's in here. It's got very high properties, but you can look up on that if you want to. But the Manuka honey also as well, if you look that up. I can tell you one time that I actually, took a cup of boiling water out of my microwave, and I dropped it. And it just went all over me, and it was bad. I was actually walking around the house. I couldn't put clothes on. So, I couldn't put anything on from here down because I was burnt with that water. And I didn't know what else to do. And, of course, I walked around with my blinds pulled for 24 hours. But I took the Manuka honey, and I put it all over that burn. And within 24 hours, it was like nothing even ever happened. But, you can use honey for wounds and things like that. But also the Manuka honey, it does have very high properties. You can take half a tablespoon or a tablespoon of that every morning, and it'll help coat your stomach and prepare for, if you have a sensitive digestive system, which is something I always dealt with. So that can help to begin your day before you move on to, eating and things that protect your digestive system a little bit. Okay, so, and I'll just stick with teas right now. I'm kind of bouncing around here a little bit. I apologize. I don't like to have to remind everybody that I suffered a head injury a few years ago, but when I kind of skip and jump like that a little bit, sometimes that's why. So, just like everybody else, I hope I'm just a good inspiration, good motivation for people to see that no matter what happens, you can still keep going and be strong. And I'm stronger in other ways than I was before. So anyway, speaking of brain injuries, new chapter. Okay, sorry about that glare. New chapter. I love their stuff. Very good quality company. I've been using a lot of their supplements for a long time too. So fish oil has so many benefits. This is a great one. It's very good quality. I've been using it for a long time. Fish oil is one for brain health. Is very, very, very helpful. So that's one thing. And it helps with anti-inflammatory. It helps with eyes, things like that. But for me, I used it for brain health. And I still do. So one very good supplement. And a probiotic. Super awesome. I don't know about you, but I learned that, I tried different things as I got older too. Certain things help. So probiotics, Garden of Life, they even make these for men. This is the Women's Daily, Garden of Life Doctor's Formula Probiotics. They're really, really good. Great, great, great companies. Very trusting, decent prices. So I will go to another traditionals medicine, the Moringa. It's spearmint and sage. It's one of my favorites. Maybe I'll just finish out the teas now, okay? Organic turmeric. Okay, turmeric with meadowsweet and ginger. Okay. I use this for anti-inflammatory. The turmeric helps with anti-inflammatory purposes. I suffered from the neuropathy and things like that. 24 years of bodybuilding. I suffer some tendon issues, tendonitis issues. I inflame, my head injury, even my neck, things like that will inflame, and I'll drink one of those almost every single day. I don't usually switch too much unless I just want something else for some reason, or something that I really enjoy. So for constipation, I know it's nothing any of us want to talk about, but you know what? We're all human. So I know I suffered really poorly with constipation from my head injury as well. My digestive system was so messed up. So this roasted dandelion root tea, it's really strong. A lot of my teas that I drink aren't caffeinated, but this one's got caffeine in it. But this one is very strong. So if you want a tea that's comparable to like coffee, this is a very strong tea. When I made this actually and drank this to help with constipation, I actually would make the whole cup, and I would just drink half of that, put it in the refrigerator, and then later on I would heat it up for later in the evening, or later on throughout my day at some point. This really, really helped me tremendously in that department. So red clover. This is really good for skin, for helping your skin. It tastes really good too. No, who didn't run around eating those little, I remember doing it. So good. Traditional medicine teas are awesome. I have a lot of other teas that I drink and I like, but this is in my cabinet all times. Obviously you can see I have all these because I have these here all the time. So raspberry leaf. Okay, this is really, really good for women. So any of you men out there, your wives, your girlfriends, your maybe you have older daughters, or whoever, another woman that you know. This is extremely helpful during times of menstruation. So it can really, really help ease menstrual cramps and things like that. So yeah, raspberry leaf. This is phenomenal. I know Yogi makes a really good brand too. I like this one because it's organic, but the Yogi's not, but either way it works. So it's phenomenal. It works really well. I think it even helps me with my hormones a little bit too. So yes, raspberry leaf. And get burning. If you want to burn a little bit of fat, you can drink, if you drink your green tea, which I don't do a lot of caffeine, but if you drink your green tea, you do a half hour before you eat anything in the morning, half hour before lunch. That can help you burn fat better. It can help burn fat off easier. This is a good tea that's get burning. This one's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's got cinnamon, ginger, chili, holy basil, black pepper. Pepper and things, when you see that, it helps as a carrier for things to get and move through your system better. So this is a really good one though. And this company has a few other teas too. The Republic of Tea, they got some really good teas too. They're mostly online. Most of these teas that I have, I can find all of these in my stores, in my local stores that have Whole Foods, or heck, I've even gone to Walmart now and I've seen like a few things like that I like. Where some of these things are becoming more popular in stores, thank heavens. So they should be a little bit easier to find. And I have 2 more teas. Organic chamomile with lavender. It's very relaxing. It's very, very good tasting. All these teas taste really, really good. I think the only one that's strong is the dandelion root. So, and I do put a little bit of honey in all of my tea. I just do. So, and for insomnia and sleep problems, I suffered so badly with insomnia after my head injury. It was truly, I should say, a nightmare, but I wasn't sleeping, so I can't say that. It was a waking nightmare. It was really bad. So this is, I found this at a store. You don't really have to have this, find this one, but, trying to think of which, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, finding a tea that has valerian root in it. Okay, and now you don't want to drink straight valerian root all the time, just straight by itself, because it's not very good for your liver to drink. You got to be careful with holistic stuff too. You don't want to overdo things, just like anything else. So, but valerian root, Valerian. So, this one's got catnip, passion flower, skullcap, oat straw, valerian root, hops, chamomile, lavender. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, sorry. But either way, you want a tea, like a sleep tea, a nighttime tea that has valerian root in it. Okay, so you can have chamomile, lavender, catnip. It can have any of those things. Mostly the chamomile and the lavenders, you want those with the valerian root. Okay, I made a cup of this also. I'd make a big cup of this. You can go to places that have fresh teas too, so it's like, yeah, and they smell so good. So, but you can make a whole cup of this. If you have, I don't weigh that much, depending, I'm really sensitive to things, so things affect me very strongly. Some people can do, take something or do something and say, well, I didn't feel a thing. So it really depends. I would make a cup of this, just like the dandelion root tea. I would make a cup, drink half of it, and then save the other half for the next night. So a half an hour before you go to bed, drink. You can start drinking an hour before. Obviously, you don't want to drink some liquid or anything before you go to bed, but start sipping on the tea an hour before you go to bed. And obviously, if you deal with sleep issues, insomnia, and things like that, or just struggling to fall asleep, it's really good to have, very, very important to have a bedtime, a strict bedtime. That you try to stay within that hour every night if you want to try to maintain a healthier sleep habit to help with your sleep issues. So, yes, start drinking that an hour before you go to bed. And I would sip on, if you want to drink the whole thing, cool. So, along with that, now that's all the tea. So, speaking of sleep issues, one thing you can do for sleep problems is a half of an avocado, sprinkle it with olive oil a half an hour before bed. So you eat that. Yeah, I know the texture is not super awesome, but that is one thing that I would do along with my tea sometimes. My insomnia was terribly bad, so I did learn that at a concussion center, a natural concussion center that I was going to, which was pretty cool. That, and if you do the Now brand, you'll recognize the Now brand. This is what most of their stuff's label looks like. It's very trusted, very very, very good, not costly, I can't think of the word, affordable. We couldn't get through a video with me without a little, gotta laugh about something here. So it's a very affordable brand, very, very high quality, very affordable. But I don't have a container for the melatonin. But if you want melatonin, it's a good quality brand. Don't get the stuff from Walgreens. Your supplements, if you're buying them, I wouldn't suggest getting your supplements from like Walgreens and Walmart and things like that. You can find a few, You know, like for instance, the new chapter, multi-prenatal vitamins for women again. I'm not trying to have a baby, but I had, my doctor suggested I try a prenatal vitamin because I was lacking something in a blood test some years ago, and she suggested I take a prenatal, so I did, and I found this one, and I noticed that my nails were growing better, my hair was growing better. I mean, I could notice some outward physical differences that were improving a lot, and I can tell when I don't take them. So it says to take 3 a day, but I actually started with 1 because I didn't, they were kind of expensive. They're a whole food vitamin. So I started with just 1, and I actually seen a difference with that. Okay. So as I started dealing with some fatigue and stuff later and things like that after my head injury, I started taking 2 or 3, right? So I noticed the benefits are even better. But yeah, super awesome good. So women, yes, very awesome. Even if you're not, trying to support a baby. And even if you are, super good. And they do make these for men as well. So, and men out there also, tell your women about these. These are very good vitamins. And they do make my vitamins for all different, men over 50 plus, women's. I think I even started something for my daughter at one point. So very, very good. So going back to the melatonin, 5 milligrams. They have 3 milligrams, 5 milligrams, and to be honest, someone says they take more than that. Your body can't really process more than 5 milligrams of melatonin, so it's kind of pointless. But that, and I don't have the container with me, but I did use the CBD oil, only the 1 milligram before bed while I was dealing with the insomnia. And I wouldn't continue, I wouldn't suggest to take it forever. The point is just kind of help. If there was a night felt like I could fall asleep, sometimes I would try to take some. I'll try to go to bed without taking anything. And if I'd fall asleep, and if I'd struggle for a while, say maybe an hour or something, then I would just get up and take one of my normal things, whatever I was using the most, or seemed that, whatever seemed like it was working best for me. But, I don't take melatonin now. I don't have to drink my valerian root tea. I don't have to eat an avocado before bed because I'm sleeping great. So slowly I've weaned myself off of all of those things a year and a half ago or whatever. When I do have my moments, of course, I have go-tos, right? I know I have something I can trust. I don't use the CBD oil anymore. I remember when I tried a 3 milligram one and I started having really bad nightmares. They were very, and they went away when I didn't take it. So why am I going to take that? Something gives me nightmares, and that's like a sign. Listen to it. So, for stress, okay? So, for stress, something that worked really, really well for me a couple of years ago, even before my injury and all that, is ashwagandha. A lot of people say they haven't heard of it. Ashwagandha. This is a great brand. This is Physician's Choice. I actually found this. I don't know why it's so blurry. I actually found this on Amazon. This one. And their price is actually really good. So ashwagandha. This is to take 3 a day. I also just started with 1. Okay. 1 or 2. I think I began with 1 or 2. This is an extra strength one. Solar Ray has one too. And ashwagandha, and that's 470 milligrams per capsule. So, but this one on the back says take one veggie capsule a day. So they're all going to say something different, but I typically, I usually start with 1, right? And then I work my way up. This says 3, but it really helps with stress and anxiety. I don't have to use these things anymore. Occasionally, if I'm just like, I don't know, maybe it's a hormonal thing, sometimes I'll take one of these and it helps me out a little bit, but Yeah, ashwagandha, super awesome for stress and anxiety. Really, really very good supplement. So we have those and the ashwagandha. Magnesium is really good for headaches. That can help with headaches. And one thing that is truly, and it was interesting because I actually had someone, a friend of mine that I haven't talked to in a long time. He was telling me he was having these terrible migraines from his past too, but he had an injury, and I also did as well. I know but anyway, something that works extremely well if you want to help, and I hope it works for you. It did for me. Ice, you take ice water. Make a bowl of ice water. I'm talking cold ice water, right? Like the polar plunge stuff that you don't want to go in. So you put your hands all the way in up to here. Put your hands all the way in the water. And you can start with 30 seconds. Take them out. That's what they had to do with me at that concussion center. This was really, cool to learn, I started with 30 seconds, take my hands out. They only let me rest for a minute in between. They're like, no, I'll put your hands back in. We did 30 seconds, and then we did a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and work yourself up. If you can stick your hands in there and last a minute, then by all means do it. Take it back out if you need to take, a minute, and then put it back in again. And we did three or four times, I think 3 times at least. So my headache would be gone instantly every time, and so yeah, very, very good tool to have there. That's easy to. Of course, I don't have ice here, so if I want to do that, I couldn't. But yeah, let's see what else I want to make sure I shared with you. Curcumin. When I had back issues years ago, I had extreme back issues. I think it was most from, be careful on what the medication doctors give you, because they gave me stuff years ago that they should have never given me, and it really messed up some of the nerves in my body. So, but anyway, I had some really bad back problems, and I didn't know what else to take or to do. I just took natural stuff. I went to physical therapy for a year. It didn't help. It didn't do anything, actually. And this is the only thing that helped me, actually. So I'm looking up a picture. Sorry. I was looking up an image for you so I can at least show you an image. Excuse me. So I use this, and this is the one thing that helped get me over it. I still have to be careful with it, but Curcumin by Terry Naturals. That's, Terry naturally. Terry naturally. So, yeah, I use that. They have an extra strength. I did use that. It worked really, really good. I actually swore by that stuff. So I was actually thinking about getting me some more recently. So haven't used it in a long time. So there's that. I think that's all the stuff that I wanted to think about, that I wanted to share with you today. That's all I can think of. Yeah, I hope that's enough. I hope that, this is useful to somebody out there. These things are all really great. They really, truly are. And even if you don't feel like you need something right now for a particular whatever, all of these have such great health purposes. They have such good benefits. You don't have to have something going wrong with you to take something that is good and good for you. Like the turmeric. Turmeric is good for you, not just for inflammation, and the ginger and meadowsweet. Wheatgrass is super good for you. There's things out there that are, yeah. So I hope that was helpful. Well, I know it was for somebody. And yeah, I'll be making videos and other stuff soon as well for something else, but it's for another time, and I guess we'll figure out what that's going to be when we get there, right? So for now, I'm going to, sending you healing, good energy vibes. If any of you are suffering from anything out there right now, you know, sending you a nice, good healing scan, sending you good energy, some balance in there, you know. So smiles, clearing your mind, good things, good thoughts, you know, peace, love, God, everything is good, healing, you know, good times ahead. You know, I said something to someone the other day. You know, we're always going to have challenges come into our lives, and the more that we grow, the bigger the challenge becomes. So if you're experiencing really, really big challenges in your life right now, no, that's because you've grown to a place where, you know, you are getting challenged with something bigger because you're growing. You know, either that or you're not listening at all and something's really trying to get your attention. So whatever it is, really listen, you know. So, love you guys. Sending you love and light and peace. Thank you so much for being here. And be well.